Shalom. First, I'd like to go glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakatash. Double honors to teachers that listen to the of Great Millstone. Likewise, brothers out there putting out this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to you, brothers and sisters that are tuning in, Shalom. Today's lesson is titled, If They Have a Need of Thee. And who are the they? The they are the so-called Edomites, the so-called white people here in Great Babylon, America, who have come to the realization that their leaders is setting them up for a massacre. And they are now looking at you, Jakes, okay, us so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, to be affiliated with them in combating what they see as an invasion of the United States of America and their way of life. Let's go into the first book here. This is the book of Revelation 18:4. It reads, And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Now let's take a look at the word plague. And if you look at the verb, which is action, it says, cause continual trouble or distress to. And this is what the Lord Yahweh Shemashai is going to do to Great Babylon, America, and in particular these Edomites. But the children of Israel, or so-called blacks, Americans, and Latinos, are going to receive the judgment known as Jacob's trouble. Now I'm going to play the short clip here, and I want you to listen very carefully, because what you are going to hear is these Edomites trying to drum up unification of all the colors or races, as they like to put in their term, to go against what they perceive to be an invasion of the way of life here in Great Babylon, America.
Rule.
That's right.
A lot of people didn't realize, but it was only 3% of those people in America that overthrew the British forces and basically got rid of them. 3% of the population, John.
I look forward to it. I'm ready. I can't wait, because I know it's going to be the beginning of the end for them. I do foresee victory. I see that at very great cost. But we will see it. And people, I think the world will become closer than ever when we do see victory. It's going to come on the back of a load of bloodshed. And unfortunately, it has to. Once people of all colours come together and recognise their common enemy, we'll walk over these people in 10 minutes.
I hope so.
We're going to have JJ Carroll. He's just back from Chicago on an unbelievable fact-finding mission there. And what he says is we are facing war, and he believes that we are about to see an explosion in places like Chicago, where you have, the population, you have in a lot of black population in Chicago fighting, literally ready to go to war with this invading army of these individuals from Africa and that are coming in. And it's unbelievable, the bloodshed that's unfolding right now, and no one will talk about it. We are heading for a war.
Now, as you saw in that video, they're talking about, they went back in the past about, the invasion by the British, and how, collectively the people came together and defeated them. And they're thinking, in terms like that if everybody come together here, the so-called whites, the so-called blacks, the so-called Asians, the so-called Hispanics get together, that they can defeat what they see coming across that border. But who's actually coming across that border? Okay? It's multiple tribes, but in particular, as I brought out in the previous video, you see a lot of the biblical Hebrew Israelites that are coming across there, either for salvation or for destruction. Now, all of a sudden, they want you to join hands with them because their lives feel threatened. But you need to understand this when we go into the book of Amos 3, and starting with verse 1, it reads, Hear this, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai had spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I have brought out from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Now I open up with Revelations 18:4, which says what? Come out of her and be not partakers of her sins, so you don't receive any of the plagues. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. Meaning what? you're not going to physically come out of Great Babylon, America, but your mind, okay, the ways of Great Babylon, America is what the Lord considered to be iniquities, okay, following the ways of Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, you know, celebrating these holidays, living the lifestyle of these sodomites, etc., is going to lead to you receiving those plagues that the Lord has in store for this place. And it says, you only have I known of the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. So there's going to be a judgment that's going to come on the children of Israel. Continuing, it says, can two walk together except they be agreed? Now, why in the hell would you want to join these Edomites, who now is really looking at you and saying, you know what? Forget that we hung you from trees. Forget about all the things that we've done to you, treat you like crap, keep you unemployed, throw you out in the streets, throw drugs in your community, make mockery of you. Forget all about that. We all have a common enemy that we need to go up against to save America. See, in the mindset of most stupid people, they believe because you all live here, meaning that you are physically on this land, that it is your duty to go and defend this nation. Really. This is what they're saying. And what we are telling you, Jakes out there, you so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos, this is not your place of rest. This is not our land of opportunity. This is not our kingdom. We have no say here. We are prisoners behind enemy wall. These people are our enemy. This is the judgment that the Lord, pursuant to Revelation 18:4, is bringing on this place. So those people that are crossing the borders, which, they come from various nations, hardcore criminals, murderers, rapists, you name it, already situated strategically all across America in these cities, ready for the green light to wreak havoc. And there are people who have figured this out, meaning like these people here, and you saw him redacted on that show. He's sitting down and he's saying, well, they're going to start in Chicago possibly, where the blast is going to go fight against this. They're hoping that the target is only really going to be so-called black people. But that's not really going to be the case. However, because we were given the laws and the commandment and the statutes from the Lord Yahweh Shai, there are those of us who are going to receive this judgment because we refuse to repent. And it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city? This is verse 6. And the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord Yahweh Shai had not done it? So who's bringing this judgment to Great Babylon, America? It's the Lord Yahweh Shai. Now he put the spirit in Esau them to bring, these, child killers from Sierra Leone, these warlords from these different nations, people who knows how to set up IEDs on the side of the road. I mean, when you take a look at how we operate over here in America, I mean, pretty much everybody's walking with their head up their ass for the most part, have never experienced, just walking, going about your business, and that soda can that you see on the ground is an IED set up by these people who have that type of skills to do those type of things. So there's going to be a continuous stroke of plagues that's going to be hitting Great Babylon, America, but mainly, again, as I titled this video, if they have a need of thee, who are they? The so-called white people. Suddenly now, they want to join hands. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and start with 16. It reads, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee in a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hand, and whisper much and change his countenance. So what happens after you overthrow these people? Now what? You think they're suddenly going to say, you know what? You're equal to us. Let's build together. We're letting you know there's not going to be any building together. Great Babylon, America, is in its final days. In fact, when we go into the book of Daniel 12 and 1, because this clearly outlines how horrible of a time this is going to be for the children of Israel. It reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people should be delivered, every one that should be found written in the book." Now this is only going to be the 1/3 elect. Now I notice that it says, "Such as was never since there was a nation, even to that same time." So this is going to be worse than slavery. This is going to be worse than post-slavery when they was hunting us down, hanging us from tree. Oh, this is going to be a horrible time. Because not only are you going to be dealing with the wrath of Esau, the so-called white man, but you're also going to have all of these other tribes that are going to be trying to lay paws on Yasharala, or so-called Blacks, Americans, and Latinos. Now, I know a lot of you who are unbelievers out there, and you might hear this and you scoff, whatever. You might say, I have friends from all, nationalities or tribes out there. They got my back, and if they ask for my help, I'll join them. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, but what we're telling you is this plague that's going to come on Great Babylon America, this judgment that's going to come on Great Babylon America, there's a specific judgment for the children of Israel, and I just read it to you in Daniel 12:1. It's trouble that we have never seen the likes of, and the only way to escape out of it is to be delivered. That's it. This is how horrible this is going to be, to the point we can't even begin to describe it. But these people obviously know there's a horror that's coming across our border, and it's already established or being established here in Great Babylon, America, so much so that they're trying to put it in your head that we all must come together, pool our resources together in order to fight what they perceive to be an invasion. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and Psalms 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draw it nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition amongst men, invading one another. They shall not regard their king nor princes. And the cause of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go in a city and shall not be able," because one of the things that they're looking at when they bring the chaos over here, whether it comes through, a botched election, which we know that's all bullshit, or whatever the hell they come up with that's going to set this off. They're bringing over specially trained people, okay? And this little clip I showed you here, it goes a little bit more in depth of the fact that these people are specially trained, and they interviewed some of them to bring out the chaos here in Great Babylon, America, which would result in people turning on each other, not following the laws. So there's not going to be any laws to protect anybody. 911 is going to be non-existent. Everybody is going to be a target, whether you're in law enforcement or whether you're just the average Joe walking down the street. Everybody is going to be a target. And you're not going to be able to go into these cities, going to have them barricaded and cordoned off. They're going to have these UN troops, okay, made of all these different tribes, people that hate the so-called American people, think they're soft, spoiled. That's going to be sitting in tanks, APCs, and have high caliber weapons pointed in all directions. Not to mention there's going to be drones that's going to be patrolling the sky with night vision. So even at nighttime, you don't even know that you're actually being watched from the sky above. This is where this is going to go. And here these people, want you to forget what they've done to you, oppress you, mock you, destroy you. Suddenly now they want the big, monkey-looking Negro to save their sorry ass. And we're giving you the warning. We're blowing the trumpet and telling you that's not the way out for Yasharala. The Lord Yahweh Shemai Shai is going to save those that he deemed worthy. So again, if they have a need of thee, Lord willing, the elect was edified, like to close up by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Shemai Shai by Shemar Kakadash. The Lord said, teachers, elders, and apostles of great millstone, likewise brothers are there putting out this truth. Faithfully fair to see feeding the sheep and dear brothers and sisters are tuning in. Shalom.